Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be for raid maintenance, raid Shadow Legends. I'm going to be going over the bans and maintenance going on in the game right now. Going to be going over the current tournaments and events, giving you my thoughts on that, the double sacreds, and also covering the fusion, kind of giving you my thoughts on whether it's worth it, and kind of diving into that whole discussion in general. So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, the bans and maintenance. I work during the day, during the week, and this has all been kind of going on during the week. And then I'm at work all day, distracted. I come home and I start working on content. So I didn't know that this whole bans thing was as bad as it is, and the thousands of players affected by it. And I feel really bad about not covering this soon. I don't want you to think I forgot about that topic or am leaving these people out, because I can only imagine. Luckily, I haven't been affected by the whole ban thing, where random people are kind of like just getting locked out of their account, having to get rolled back, and all these sorts of things are happening. It seems like it's just kind of random. It's just randomly locking people out of their accounts, and then what they're doing is rolling people back. But all of their grinding, all the items they got during that time, champions they've summoned, some people are losing them. Plarium's trying to unban them and compensate them, but a lot of these people have been reaching out to me and saying, like, and telling me their story about how they've, spent all this money on raid, they've been a dedicated player, and they've just gotten screwed over and lost so much, and how, sad they are about it, how they just want to quit, and, it's happened to so many people that Plarium doesn't have the manpower to focus on all of them individually, and I don't know what the answer is. Like, I feel so bad for these people. I reached out to Plarium this morning, and I said, hey, I know I'm only one person. Is there anything I can do to help? Like, I'll help for free. Is there anything I can do to help reach out to these players? Can we give them more compensation? Is there anything we can do? And they basically told me, we're really looking into it. We want to make sure and give them, more than we already have. So look for that to come in the future. But yeah, I mean, I don't work for Plarium. There's not a whole lot I can do. I tried to put some input and fight for these people, but yeah, that's kind of what I was told is, and I said this on stream. I think the best way to do this is to, I'm sure they have access to these metrics, like, look up how much money their account has spent on raid, like how many in-game purchases they have bought, and refund them all that money, but let them keep their progress so far. I think that's the only fair way to do it. Look up their in-game purchases, and if all of it adds up to like $500, you refund them $500, but let them keep their stuff and say, hey, we're so sorry. We're gonna refund you your purchases, but we're gonna let you keep everything, and we hope you continue to be a loyal player and believe in us again and play in the future. I know that would be a short-term revenue loss and a bullet to swallow, but treating your customers like that is what helps you build a solid player base and a solid foundation to get people to believe in you. So yes, it would be a short-term loss, but I think it would be a long-term gain if Plarium would step up to the plate and do something like that. If I actually had any input, that's what I would recommend they do. Probably not going to happen, but I am trying to message them and kind of push them to giving these people more than they have currently. And I just wanted you to know that even though I haven't addressed it before today, I am thinking about you guys. And I did a poll on my stream. I had like 500 viewers, so obviously not a huge sample size, not thousands of people. But I asked in the stream, have you been affected by the bans or not? Just to kind of get an estimate, like what percentage of people this is hitting. I don't know if it's 40% or 1%. And the poll of 500 people, I think it came out to like 4% of people that were affected by this. But I mean, that's a lot of players. When you're talking about if raid has 1 million players or whatever, that's thousands of people affected by this, even if it's only 4 or 5%. So, thinking about you guys that have been affected, let me know down in the comments what your story has been, if it has hit you, and hopefully they do a lot more to kind of, provide for you guys and take care of you. So obviously it's going to be tough for Plarium, but I hope they're doing everything they can to take care of you guys. So that's something I wanted to cover really quick. Let's get into the tourneys and events here. So first of all, the champion training event. Obviously 30,000 points is a ton, but in terms of the fusion, which I'll get to here in a second, you only need the 18,005. I shouldn't say only, that is a lot of points, but it's not 30,000. Seems a little bit more reasonable than their previous ones, so at least they're trending in the right direction on that. I think in terms of people who want to do the fusion, this is at least like reasonable, because you get 10 days to get to 18,000, which is pretty doable for most people out there. And you want to be leveling your level 1 champions at least like one run before you feed them, because these level upgrades are a big source of the progression in the event. So let's say you're upgrading a 3-star and you have you've got your level 33 star and you're going to use 3 level 1 3-stars. Take those 3 level 1 3-stars and take them for like one run. Get them up to like level 5, 6, 7, whatever it is, and get those free points. You see, that would be like 40 something free points just from that one run. So make sure you're doing that, especially with like your 3 and 4 and 5 stars before you feed them. That'll help you out to kind of progress in the event. And then moving on to the Summon Rush. I'm actually going to do a video on this. My live stream this morning for a couple hours, I actually went ahead and pulled a bunch of Sacreds that I had saved up. And I did complete it. So if you're curious to complete the 7,000 points to finish the whole thing, is 14 Sacreds or 70 Ancients. I wouldn't recommend doing your Voids until like a ×2 Void event. But right now with Sacreds, I had basically just enough Sacreds saved up over the course of the last couple months to go ahead and barely kind of max this out. So I pulled them all, and I'll have a video showing that, live on stream. And so this is actually pretty well structured in terms of getting the Apothecary. That's pretty reasonable. 1,400 points to get Apothecary. That's a pretty game-changing champion for a lot of people out there, and is a component of the fusion. So I think that's fairly reasonable, and this event is also kind of trending in the right direction. I think still not perfect, as in like how us players would kind of want it designed probably, and that's a tough line to walk anyway, but definitely trending in the right direction, similar to the other champion training event. So in terms of tournaments, gosh, there is just so much going on. People are going to be spread really thin trying to do this fusion and tournaments and events. So I definitely sympathize with you guys, because it's going to be a slog in terms of keeping up with the energy and trying to wrap your head around the battle pass and the events and the tournaments and the fusion and everything going on. So I'm going to do my best to kind of just do it simply here. But the Dragon tournament is ending soon. I went ahead and grinded enough just to get the book. I don't think I'm going to really wail out. We'll see. It depends how hard number 1 goes in the next 12 hours or so. We'll see. But yeah, and then another Spider tournament is actually live right now. Again, the Spider and the Dragon are probably 2 of the best dungeons to grind. So in terms of that, they have a lot of value. But if you're wanting to do the fusion, you might want to focus more on the champion training stuff. And I'll go ahead and go over the fusion. So this fusion going live is going to be for Rotos, the Lost Groom, who is, kind of the tandem with the new Void Legendary Siphi, who is amazing. I have a video on my channel going over all of these new champions, all 16 of them, the rares, the epics, and the couple and the few legendaries, kind of grading them all. I was a little bit, let me pull up Rotos. In my video, spoiler alert, on that video, I was a little bit harsh on Rotos. And then I was kind of talking with people in the community and talking on stream, and I think I may have undersold him a little bit. This is going to be a champion that'll be amazing in Relentless gear. We can really stack these extra turn effects and get him a bunch of turns and just have him like snowball. But definitely an interesting champion that will probably need some testing to really see how strong he is, because there's some weird stuff in here, based around max HP, manipulating things that don't work against bosses, lots of extra turns, snowballing, and a passive here that works with Siphi, with damage reduction to bosses. There's a lot going on here, and I'll pull up the fusion here in a little bit and go over it. But yeah, there's just so much going on here that I kind of did a poll with a lot of people in the community and a lot of good players that I know and talk to privately, and it seems like he's good, but hard to say if he's like godly yet. So I rated him, I think, around number 20. My tier list is down in the video description. I think I put him in like 20 something in the legendary tier list ranking. There's like 80 legendaries. So yeah, he's looking like he's gonna be pretty decent. Let's go ahead and talk about the fusion while we're on the subject here. So one thing I want to talk about with the fusion that I really hope they change at some point. So I always recommend in my videos that you be responsible and save a copy of every epic, because you never know when they're gonna get rebalanced or be part of a fusion. And the thing that I don't like is whenever they do a fusion, you know, I'm always making sure to recommend these people kind of prepare and save epics, but when they do a fusion, it's always brand new epics that there's no way you could have had them. And I get they want to incentivize you to pull your sacreds and try to get these epics, but you gotta at least like put one of the new ones in here, and then have 2 or 3 that have been possible to acquire before. Azure is the only one that, you know, has been in the game for longer than a week, and he's a void. So even though he's been in the game a while, he's tough to get. So gosh, the fusion is going to be tough, and this Sepulcher Sentinel is a really good champion. So it's unfortunate that people are going to have to crunch. I'm saying that word wrong. I think it's Sepulcher or something. I don't know. You can make fun of me. I looked up how to pronounce it. I think it's like Sepulcher or something. But yeah. Anyway, this champion, Sepulcher Sentinel, is very good. And it's unfortunate to have to crunch this champion to get to the legendary. My overall sentiment is, whenever you can acquire a legendary, you should try to do it, because you never know when they're going to get buffed and become god tier like Dracomorph. You know, this fusion, Rotos, is part of a tandem with a godly champion like Siphi. So you wouldn't want to get Siphi and then be like, oh, I wish I really had Rotos so I could test that out. So I would at least try to get this epic, the Sepulcher Sentinel. But if it's realistic for you, I would go for Rotos, because I explained before, when you can get a legendary, I would try to do it, but it's gonna be tough. Don't kill yourself doing it, and I would at least prioritize getting this epic here. That's kind of my general recommendation, is go for this. And if it's realistic for you to get it done, go for you know, Rotos. But don't be hard on yourself, and don't be going crazy trying to, you know, kill yourself going for the fusion. But at least get this epic if you can. So yeah, that's gonna kind of do it for this video. Just wanted to do a quick update and touch on a few things for the weekend. I'm headed out of town tonight. I'll be back at the grind tomorrow with a stream and a video, and you know, trying to get some boots on the ground and keep you guys up to date on everything that's going on. So yeah, as always, let me know what you think down in the comments, and thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.